First responders are on the front lines of society's biggest crises, and while their job is to save the day, they often carry the traumas they've rescued others from. Fishing for a Change is a retreat program dedicated to providing PTSD relief for those who have served our communities. Here to tell us how a fishing line can be a lifeline to healing is Craig Dickerson, president of Fishing for a Change. Welcome, Craig.
Well, thank you, Desiree. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, we're happy to have you back. So, Craig, can you give us an idea of just how many first responders and service members are dealing with PTSD?
So currently, statistics put that about 17% of our brave first responders and service members are dealing with pretty severe PTSD symptoms. That translates into about over 500,000 people in the United States, 10,000 people in California, and then over 5,000 people here in the North State.
Wow. And so who would you say, who does PTSD affect?
So really, it affects the person for sure, right? They don't understand what's going on. It affects their immediate family and friends because, well, they don't understand what's going on either, and that's scary. You know, somebody is struggling in front of you. That's very scary. It affects the people that are trying to help them because it's nobody really understands what's going on, so they're all struggling and frustrated.
That I can't walk that path, so how can the path be changed?
So that's a good thing to ask. I don't know. I'm not a professional, but the way I see it would be we treat it just like that. It's an internal wound. We know that you're hurt. We just can't see how bad, right? So we do the exact path. We take them to the doctor. We triage you. We observe you. We ask you questions. We observe you overnight because now that adds another statistic. If you're not sleeping, we've got a problem, right? So then once we do that, then we come up with a treatment plan. We go to the counselor once a day for a week, look for these symptoms. If they manifest, we know you have a problem. If you're triggered, try to find out what your trigger is. If you can figure that out, share that with your family and friends. If somebody shares a trigger with you, please try to be mindful that that's going to spin them. If you do accidentally trigger them, understand that you have opened up that wound and their mind is now bleeding thoughts and they can't control it. You need to stay tagged in and try to calm them down. If you can't calm them down, we need to go to the professionals. Just like we would if I had an operation on my stomach, a week later I said, Desiree, I'm in pain. We would go straight back to the doctor, right?
Yeah.
Same thing needs to happen here.
Yeah, and I mean, so something you've introduced is Fishing for a Change. And I remember the last time you talked about it, the key word you used was that it really allows people to pause. It allows first responders to pause. What would you say it is about going out fishing that allows people to pause?
So, I don't know, I believe that you're showing on the TV the places that we like to go fishing. There is nobody around. Absolutely nobody around, no triggers. There's bald eagles flying by. So if you can't go, when a bald eagle flies by, you're now taking a breath automatically, right? So we're out there where it's just calm, peaceful, and nothing is going to bother you. And you can take some breaths and try to get your mind set in a base pattern.
And I think you're right. We're looking at some of that footage, like you mentioned, just being out in nature. That's already one thing that just allows people to kind of pause and calm down, allowing first responders to fish and just take a moment. What's been the response from them when they've had a chance to do Fishing for a Change?
So, like I said, it is a calming effect for them. When you stand there and you have to focus right on something, it's like, I tell them, take this and lure and you throw it over here and you want to focus, you know, you give them a task-oriented, focused outdoor activity, right? And that gives them something to do that takes their mind off of what might come into the, you know, sure, I got problems, but now I need to go cast again. And about then you hook into a fish, right? And so that changes the whole dynamic. Oh, sure, I had a problem, but now I've got a fish I'm fighting. So it changes your whole dynamic. Your world becomes all of that, which is meditation.
Okay, well, it's important to meditate. And to that point, you have many events that are going on, but tell us about any upcoming events that are happening with Fishing for a Change.
So thank you very much. We have Northern California's Taco Tamale Festival, May 4th. It's celebrating May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so that we're kicking that off at the Butte County Fairgrounds. It's just about an hour north of here on the 99, and we've got food, we've got fun, events for the kids. We're still looking for vendors. We're still tamales. I still need somebody to make a dessert tamale. I would really love to try one of those. So bring those on, please.
All right, so it sounds like you got some upcoming fun events coming on. Craig, thank you for being so vulnerable and transparent and talking about your depression, PTSD, and just being the guy who wants to help other people that are going through this. Find a moment to pause. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
All righty, I'm going to let our viewers know where they can go for more info. You can find out more by going to fishingforachange.org or by calling 951-409-1011.